There has been global criticism of Israeli far-right minister Itamar Ben-Gvir's visit to the Al-Aqsa Compound in Jerusalem. The Western governments have warned that such a move would threaten the fragile status quo at Jerusalem's holy sites. Israel's new far-right national security minister Ben-Gvir visited the compound on Tuesday. He was surrounded by security guards while a drone hovered above the holy site. Al-Aqsa Mosque is the third holiest place in Islam and the most sacred site to Jews, who refer to the compound as the Temple Mount. Now, under the status quo, non-Muslims can visit the site at specific times, but they're not allowed to pray there. Hours after Ben-Gvir's visit, Israel's ally, the United States, said it stands firm on preserving the status quo of Jerusalem's holy sites.
So this is the mosque that you're talking about by the National Security Advisor there. Look, so the United States stands firmly, and we've been very clear for preservation of the status quo with respect to the holy sites in Jerusalem. Any unilateral action that jeopardizes the status quo is unacceptable, and we will continue to be very clear.
We're deeply concerned by any unilateral actions that have the potential to exacerbate tensions, precisely because we want to see the opposite happen.
UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called on all sides to refrain from steps that could escalate tensions in and around the holy sites. Germany has urged everyone to avoid actions that could increase tensions in the region. The UAE and Morocco, which established diplomatic ties with Israel in 2020, have spoken against Ben-Gvir's visit to the Al-Aqsa compound. In fact, the Israeli media has reported that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's planned visit to the UAE next week has now been postponed till next month. Though Prime Minister's aides have denied any link to Ben-Gvir's move, the reports have emerged shortly after the UAE condemned the Israeli minister's visit to the contested site. According to diplomats, the UAE and China have also asked the UN Security Council to meet on this issue. It's a visit that has caused rage among the Palestinians. Palestinian Prime Minister has called Ben-Gvir's visit the storming of the Al-Aqsa Mosque and a violation of all norms, international laws and commitments of Israel to the American president.
إن اقتحام الوزير الإسرائيلي بن غفير للمسجد الأقصى المبارك صباح اليوم يشكل تحدي خطير لمشاعر جميع أبناء الشعب الفلسطيني.
هذا خطير لأنه صاحب فكرة السيطرة على الأقصى وصاحب فكرة التقسيم الزماني والمكاني.
Israel's security forces have reportedly confirmed that a rocket was launched towards Israel from Gaza last night, but it fell within the Gaza Strip itself. The visit has drawn fierce condemnation from across the Muslim world. The leader of Lebanon's powerful armed Hezbollah movement has said any change in the status quo at the Al-Aqsa Mosque could lead to an explosion in the region.
التعرض للمسجد الأقصى وللمقدسات الإسلامية والمسيحية في فلسطين وفي بيت المقدس خصوصا من قبل هؤلاء الصهاينة لن يفجر الوضع داخل فلسطين فقط بل قد يفجر المنطقة بكاملها.
In an apparent effort to calm anger over the visit, an official in the Israeli Prime Minister's office has said that Benjamin Netanyahu is fully committed to the status quo, which allows only Muslims to worship at the site. For more on this, we are now joined by our correspondent Jody Cohen. Jody, clearly, this is already having very serious ramifications. There has been international condemnation, not just Palestinian outrage over Ben-Gvir's visit to this site. The question is, has this also put Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in a tight spot?
Right, so this hasn't just received criticism internationally, it's also received criticism from within Israel. So, for example, leader of the opposition, Yair Lapid, talked about it being politically irresponsible and said that it showed weakness on the part of Netanyahu. And a paper now affiliated with the United Torah Judaism Party said that it was a folly that endangers lives. So what could be the consequences of this visit? We've already seen that Hamas has fired a rocket towards Israel on Tuesday night that misfired and fell within Gaza. We also know that in the year 2000, Ariel Sharon was the leader of the opposition then, and he visited the Temple Mount, which was said to be one of the triggers for the Second Intifada, which is the Palestinian uprising. Could we see more riots? Could we see more rockets? It's too early to tell. We do know that the UAE has filed this request for a meeting at the UN Security Council, which is expected to take place as early as Thursday. Netanyahu, as you said, has also postponed his trip to the UAE. His office is denying that it has anything to do with this trip, but commentators are speculating that it is because of Ben-Gvir's visit. Now, that trip hasn't been cancelled. It's been rescheduled for February. And there is a feeling in Israel that this won't derail the Abraham Accords. But we also know that one of Netanyahu's priorities is to try and make peace with Saudi Arabia, who said that Ben-Gvir's visit was a provocation. So it does seem that the visit may have put on hold any further moves towards normalization for now. And I think the other important factor is to talk about relations with the United States, who said that any disturbances to the status quo would be unacceptable. Netanyahu issued that statement saying that the visit didn't break the status quo, but no doubt they will discuss that when Jake Sullivan visits in January. So it's not the start that Netanyahu would have wanted. He had expected to be in the UAE next week. There's a question within Israel about who's really in charge. Is it Netanyahu? Is it Ben-Gvir? He's having to do damage control, and it's clear he's not going to have an easy time keeping everyone within Israel, the coalition partners, and his allies abroad happy.
Well, clearly this is going to be a tough balancing act for the Israeli Prime Minister. Thanks very much, Jody, for getting us all those details.
Thank you.